Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome this week's episode of Talks with TVBOO. Welcome this week's episode of the podcast. Hope you're all having a great week, and I appreciate y'all being here, man. Just want to apologize to y'all for not uploading episodes these last couple weeks. I've been, playing a bunch of shows. I've been traveling a lot, going and staying at buddies' houses, producer buddies' houses, and working on a lot of music. So I've been really busy, but it's been in the back of my mind bothering me that I haven't been as consistent with this show as I've been wanting to be. But I got a lot of episodes I'm recording this weekend, so I'll be able to stock up and have a consistent weekly release. But it just feels good to be back, and I appreciate y'all's patience. We got a great guest for y'all today. Before I introduce this guest, just want to tell y'all about some upcoming tour dates I got. April the 26th, I'll be in Seattle, Washington. May the 3rd, I'll be in Clearwater, Florida. May the 10th, I'll be in Detroit, Michigan. And May the 16th, I'll be in New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm coming home, baby. You can get tickets to all those shows at TVBOOmusic.com. Can't wait to see y'all. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also, just want to tell y'all I have a new song releasing next Friday called Girlfriend Song. This is a song y'all been asking for a while. It's a fucking hilarious song. It's a silly song, but I'm excited to share it with y'all. So make sure to go check it out when it releases. But enough of all that. My guest this week is a funky, colorful feller. An incredible producer from the UK, now lives in Canada. I've been a fan of this guy for a long time. We've chatted a little bit on the internet, but it was awesome to really get to sit down and chat with each other. Ladies and gentlemen, Father Funk.
Come here, girl, 'cause that's fact. Let me take my tongue and go around your dirt track. I met a girl and her booty tastes like strawberries. I swear to God, this could be the one that I marry. Hey, hey, and she's so different. I made that from behind. I met a girl and her booty tastes like strawberries.
Water cheers, buddy.
Yeah,
Hey, bud.
sober gang.
Yeah.
Me anyway.
I ain't drinking neither, brother.
Have you bring the mic right up to your mouth there?
Yeah. I gotta keep it like a fist away. Put it wherever you want.
All good?
Oh, yeah. Should be good.
Yep.
Yeah, man. How you doing today?
Yeah, not too bad. I got up pretty early today. Had an early flight, so yeah, pretty tired, but nice to be here. This is only my second time in Denver, and
Really?
yeah, excited for tonight.
What was the first time?
First time was about a year ago. Played at Mission Ballroom with Floozies. I was opening the show, so it wasn't particularly busy, but it was still like an epic show and just good vibes, and yeah.
Yeah. Where are you playing tonight?
Meow Wolf.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Headline or support?
I'm sort of like special guest for D-Funk.
Oh, fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
and
Yeah, they're doing Red Rocks tomorrow, aren't they?
No, we're doing Avon tomorrow. I'm not sure who's Red Rocks in tomorrow.
Got you.
Must
Someone
be
told me
probably
that.
a different funk.
What's the name of it?
D-Funk.
Defunk. Okay, there's like funk lines.
Okay.
Damn, there's a lot of funks going on
Yeah,
in
there
Denver
is,
this
yeah.
weekend. What the hell? We've had a lot of funks come through the studio as of late, Kyle.
Yeah.
It's fucking.
You had the Funk Hunters right last time.
Oh yeah, good dudes.
Yeah, good dudes. Yeah.
Like those guys. We got fucking demolished. We got sloppy drunk. We got very dude, whenever I do those podcasts and I'm having to edit them towards the end, I'm like, Jesus, I'm so embarrassing. I don't know. You ever look back on things you do as maybe not far back, but even recent? You're like, damn it, I'm embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, definitely pre-sobriety. I've been sober for like 5.5 years.
Right, you can still be embarrassing with being sober.
I can definitely still do embarrassing shit, but there's definitely more so stuff that I look back on from like way back, and I'm like, oh my god, like I see photos of myself, and it's still kind of crazy to me how long I've been doing this, like way over 10 years now. And like I see photos of myself from like way back in the day, and I'm like, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah. How long you been sober?
Yeah, it was 5 years in October, so like 5.5 years.
Wow, man. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
What was your vice, dude? Like, what was your drug of choice?
I mean, all sorts, really. I think it kind of started with just like being a raver, going to parties and taking MDMA and ecstasy and shit like that, and maybe some trips. But I feel like the more as I got into being a DJ, it was more like cocaine and stuff that's like less visible when you're performing and around people, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's hard to be like, you don't want to get totally visibly fucked up in front of people that know who you are.
Yeah.
To be honest, that was one of the things that pushed me towards stopping towards the end anyway. Is just like you're never really prepared for like if some fan comes up to you. Like, I don't want to be completely out of it and someone's like trying to have a conversation with me, and that's like their first impression of me is like I'm just wasted, you know.
Yeah.
Even if you're just drunk, it's like it's just not a good look.
Yeah.
And it's almost a shame. Like I'd love to be able to let go and just like get messed up, but I don't think I really have that liberty in the same way other people do. And yeah, I don't know. I'm quite happy just being sober now.
So it wasn't even necessarily like I had a problem. It was just like, oh, this is kind of dirty.
Kind of, but also like I feel like if I had a normal job and I was getting fucked up as much as I was, people would be like, you need to go to rehab. But as a DJ, people are like, yeah, fucking legend.
Yep. Yep.
Like people encourage it. Like you show up to the show and there's like they've already got drugs waiting for you, or they hand you a drink straight away, and if you don't want to have it, they're like, "Ooh, what's going on? You're all right."
Yeah.
And like it's okay when you're playing a show every now and then, but when it's like every single weekend, 2 or 3 shows or something, like to them, to the promoter, that's like the biggest night of their year. And like for me, that's just another night. Like not to like put it down. Obviously, I appreciate the shows and I put my effort in to make it special, but I can't treat it like it's a fucking vacation every time because it isn't, you know.
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, that it does get carried away pretty quickly. Like I definitely have had times where I was like, man, I need to quit drinking as much.
I think as well, it just kind of helps you get through it as well, doesn't it? Like the lifestyle of like traveling a lot, and like you get to a new place and you don't know anyone there, or you're at a festival and you don't know anyone there. Yeah. And you're like tired and you need to be that exciting person on stage. Like I'm mostly a pretty introverted dude, you know, and definitely helped to get me out my shell a bit. And that's part of the reason I haven't ever really thought about going back to it, because I feel like the further I get into my sober journey, the more I'm learning about myself and the more I'm learning to be that kind of a fun person without all that shit, which is like, that's the bigger learning curve, not the like saying no to a drink. It's like learning how to act.
So would you say that's the biggest thing you've learned, is just like learning how to have fun, I guess, sober?
Yeah, I mean, you just don't realize how many things it's like an emotional response, or like, you know, when you're trying to like, if you're feeling a bit socially awkward, it's like same with like smoking. It's like you want to roll a cigarette or something that like keeps you busy, and you don't have to just like face someone and talk to them and look in their eye, you know?
Yeah.
All these little things you don't realize until you stop and think like, oh shit, I was like relying on all this stuff to like get through every day.
Yeah.
Like it's not so much that I was like, oh, I really need a smoke or I really need a drink. It was just like keeping yourself busy to not feel awkward.
Yeah, absolutely. I get that, man. Yeah, something about just like whenever you're out and you don't have, like, I guess I can notice like when I'm out and I got like a drink in my hand, it's like I feel a little awkward.
Yeah.
I like a cold beer though, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, totally.
But like, man, I wish I could give up damn nicotine. I'm trying to switch to the pouches and quit the vaping, you know what I'm saying? I like them.
Yeah, I mean, smoking was probably the biggest one that I stopped and was like, yeah, I'm never going back to this. I could see myself smoking some weed one day.
Yeah.
And having some drinks. I definitely miss like having a glass of wine with some food. Like that doesn't feel particularly like bad. Like when I'm at home for Christmas, that's usually the hardest time for me, like drinking wise, because I'm like, it's hard to see the negative side of having a few drinks with my family and having food, right?
Yeah.
I just know that could lead down a path that I don't want to go down.
Yeah.
But in terms of like getting wasted for 3 days and not sleeping at a festival, it's like I can see the negative side to that, obviously.
Well, Dave, I'll tell you what, man, it might be good that you ain't, because I got like some step family. They all from Louisiana, and when they get drunk, like around the holidays, they like to just drink and fight, brother. Like they just every time they
like
drink,
fist fight.
Yes, oh, absolutely, dude. I've seen fists thrown. I see motherfuckers get pushed down. So, and it's actually kind of fun. You know what I mean? It definitely keeps the holidays interesting. Like I know half family members are like, "Oh, this is gonna be terrible." I'm like, "Dude, this is gonna be so fucking sick. I can't wait."
Where you're from originally?
Mississippi.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't really know my U.S. geography that well, but
It's all right. I don't know my Canadian geography all that well. I mean, but you're also from the UK.
Yeah.
Live in
originally.
Canada.
Yep.
But you didn't lose the accent.
No, I mean my accent's pretty. It's pretty tame for a UK accent mostly, but I don't know. Some people tell me that I sound Canadian. I don't think I sound Canadian.
No, I don't think you do. I'm sure you might have some things here.
I definitely try and like enunciate a bit better and like pronounce my words better, because I know that if I go kind of full English, people just don't understand the word I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it's not even just the accent. It's like phrases we say and shit that I didn't notice people don't really understand until I'm here. Or I'll say something like rucksack instead of backpack, and people laugh their ass off at me.
Oh, I call it a backsack, and people are like, "What'd you call it?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just coming from different places. Like people call it Eskimo bros. I call it wiener cousins. You know what I mean? Like that, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know. So that's just in the areas. But I'm sure you go to Canada or the UK, they got different things like that.
Canada
too.
has a lot of shit like that too, to be fair. Yeah.
Yeah, they all sound like they're from fucking Wisconsin.
Well, the West Coast of Canada is not too extreme an accent. It's not too dissimilar from like even like California.
Right, it's just right there.
But like the East Coast, definitely a bit more like Trailer Park Boys vibes.
Hell yeah, dude. Greatest show ever made, dude.
yeah.
The greatest show ever made.
Yeah.
Dude, fucking, they can't put a tariff on that. That's fucking funny, man. You're a colorful guy.
I am, yes, yeah.
You're a colorful guy.
That shirt is so sick.
Thank you.
Looks like something Kyle would wear.
Yeah.
Dude, what's up? Like, because, you know, you had pink shoes walking in. You got this. You got the pink hair.
Yeah, I mean,
Not judging. I'm just curious.
I've always been quite a colourful dude, I guess. And then, yeah, I dyed my hair pink when I went sober. I don't know if that was like me signaling some sort of new beginning or some shit. I don't know. I don't really put that much thought into this stuff. I think people assume it's like a stage outfit or whatever. Like, and I don't even particularly like drawing attention to myself. I just like expressing myself, you know?
Yeah, I love
And
it, dude.
and I've always been, even back to when I was like 10 years old, I really didn't like being the same as everyone else. I always had to be different. And when people started to do things that I would do, I would have to like change it up and shit, you know? Maybe I'm a bit of a hipster that way.
Maybe, dude. But you look good. It looks good on you.
Well, I appreciate
it. You fucking, if I pulled that outfit out, I'd probably, you know, look like shit, dog. But you make it look good, man.
Well, that's it. It's just about being yourself, and you got your own thing going on too.
Amen,
you know?
brother. Amen, dude.
I think it's important, especially in the world of, I don't know. There's a lot of DJs that just look the fucking same and play the same music, and
There's a lot of pressure too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of pressure, like, and a lot of DJs don't even realize it, but I see it. There's a lot of pressure from like the fans to be like, oh, I would like this person if they were a little bit more like this.
yeah.
And I've literally seen like fans say that online about other artists or say that about X, Y, and Z. And so like there's that pressure on artists to be like, you know, maybe tame themselves down or hide them true selves a little bit so maybe they can be more likable to the masses or whatever.
Yeah,
But-
I do think it's kind of come almost full circle to like, say in like the 80s, you kind of want rock stars to be these like mysterious, like otherworldly god creatures. Whereas now it's kind of like people with true success are ones that are more relatable. You know, someone like Subtronics, it's like, I think people can relate to that guy because he is like a fan of the music and he is just like one of the guys in the crowd in a lot of ways, you know?
Oh, yeah. He's got just the right amount of autism to where he'll just sit there and write the best song you've ever heard.
Like he's not trying to pretend that he's like, yeah, something that's unattainable and
Nah, just for
I
hard
think,
work.
I think people prefer, and even though I might be, like I say, kind of dressed kind of unique, I think I'm still not too dissimilar from your average kind of festival person who's just like dressing like a weirdo.
Oh, absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
And yeah, I've had some quite nice interactions with it too, where like I remember a festival in the UK, there was some kid who was like, why do you dress like that? And I could have been a dick about it, but he was like genuinely asking, like this really young kid, and I was like, because I feel like it. And you could tell he was genuinely like, whoa, I can just wear what I want.
Whoa.
And then like a year later, I saw him again at the same festival, and he was all like dressed up in crazy shit, had like a chain, and I was like, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. There is that realization that someone has at some point. They're like, whoa, I can just be myself?
Yeah. I think somehow, for whatever reason, and I'm grateful for it, my parents instilled that in me that from a young age, I guess, that I could just be whoever I wanted. And
Yeah.
I guess I've always been into the shit people aren't into, and I've always been okay with that. You know?
Amen, brother. We're all a little weird. And that
You
makes
were
things
into
good.
punk rock and shit back in the day, right?
Hell yeah, still
I
am,
think I saw
dude.
you playing some drums once.
Yeah, still am,
yeah.
brother. Fucking rocking out to my band. Like, one of my people are gonna roast me because I talk about this band all the time. But Sleep Token's one of my favorite bands.
Okay, so
They released a new song today. I've listened to it probably like 20 times. It's so fucking good.
dope. Yeah,
It's brilliant.
that's kind of my world. I mean, like you say, I still listen to that shit. Like, I love electronic music. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like from being in the studio all day and like going to shows a lot and festivals, that's where to experience that kind of music. When I'm like cruising around town, with my headphones on, I'm always listening to punk rock and metal. Really, like,
Yeah, same, man. I listen to a lot of that. And also, like, it's hard for me to listen to electronic music nowadays because I hate that I'm like this, but I've become jaded. So where if like a snare's bad, I'm like, the song sucks.
I was definitely rinsing the new Skrillex like a few times the last few days because
So good.
that shit's dope.
So good.
But yeah, and I also feel like it kind of influences my music. Like if everyone's listening to the same fucking electronic acts and then making dubstep based off of the dubstep they've heard, like how are they going to break new ground or do anything exciting, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like my bass lines have got more gnarly in the last 2 years from listening to loads of thrash metal, not from listening to loads of dubstep.
Yeah.
You know, it's more about like the musicality of it, and I'm always taking influences from other styles of music. I'm just into everything really.
Did you grow up a musician at all?
Yeah.
I was about to say, because your music, it's definitely got a very musical aspect to it.
Yeah.
A lot of, I mean, like you said, you go to hardcore with these bass lines.
Yeah, I'm kind of trying to. I'm kind of trying to unlearn a lot of it in a way. I think it's easy to make things too complex. At least like, say like a bass line could be like a riff, right? A whole pattern that repeats. Or you could just stick around one note. And sometimes the one note ones are the ones that slap.
Yeah.
But to me, that never came instinctually because I'm obviously focused on the actual patterns and shit. So I think my music's become a little bit more simplified over the last few years because in favor of it kind of hitting a bit harder. And I don't know. I always think of like reggae and like stuff like D'Angelo R&B kind of stuff is quite a good example of that, where you can have something really simple that just repeats and then slightly just tweak it every now and then, as opposed to it being too complex all the time. You know?
Oh yeah, it's just got a good groove that keeps you in there.
Yeah, I used to play in punk bands. I played drums in a punk band. I played bass in a punk band. I played trombone in a ska punk band.
Oh fuck yeah, man! UK ska, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
That sounds fucking fun.
I miss that shit, man. Like, I feel like with DJing too, like I don't want to sound jaded again, but I think I don't particularly enjoy DJing just like at home on my own. Like it's more like when I've played in front of all these crowds and on these amazing sound systems, it's like that's when it's dope, right? And the reaction from the crowd to my music. Whereas like when I play in a band, I can be in a room just with the guys in the band and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I don't need anyone else there.
Yeah, or you can just be by yourself in a drum kit.
Exactly,
And
or
you're
just
having
practicing and it just feels good, you know? Like,
yeah.
It's different. Like, I do miss that.
Yeah, I do too. I miss jamming with the fellas, man.
Yeah.
That's like the best part of it
Yeah.
was just like meeting up after school, renegade fucking show. You have like a couple buddies come over too and watch and you feel like you're playing a show. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to get back into that stuff. That's kind of one of my goals this year is like try and like, I think I've been put off starting like a punk project or something because I'm like, oh, I don't want to have to like start a whole new socials account and shit. And then I had to kind of like check myself and be like, the barrier to me putting out music shouldn't be like the weight of the socials. Like, don't even worry about that shit. Just do it. Like, it doesn't even have to come out. Just make it, right? Maybe I'll release it. Maybe I won't. But like, just for the fun of it, right?
That goes straight to the pressure I was telling you just a second ago. It's there. And you felt it right there where you're like, your first thought is socials.
Yeah,
and
totally. That's fucking lame.
it's so lame.
So
Whenever
lame.
the music's like the best part of it. It's like the most fun part for us at least.
Shit. I feel lucky that I was kind of like almost the last generation of artists that got to kind of have that. Like I was kind of a SoundCloud, like early SoundCloud generation, and that's kind of what built my following. And you could say that's social media, but it's not in the same way at all. Like back then, all I focused on was releasing music, and it was like putting out songs on SoundCloud regularly was enough. But now it's like I genuinely some weeks, like especially if I'm like overwhelmed and I'm like running out of time, and I end up having to prioritize socials because that's kind of the thing you have to keep the ball rolling with, right? I can always just like quickly make a tune, but it feels like sometimes I'm having to focus on the socials thing, which is fucking annoying. Dude.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I have this song that I'm really digging, but let me stop for 2 hours so I can fucking make this post that that I don't care about that other people may or may not.
Yeah, and people say like, why don't you just get someone to like help you or whatever? But it's like, A, it's money, and B, like we were saying before, it's like people want that personal connection, and like I think you can tell a lot of the time when someone else has done it. And certainly, I mean, I could probably hand over the editing and the posting to someone else, but I still have to sit there in the studio and film shit and come up with ideas. And
Right, at that point, you already done half the job.
yeah, and it is important. Like, I try not to bitch about it too much, but yeah, I kind of made a decision a couple of years ago to just be like, either I whinge about this for the rest of my life and it sucks, or I just learn a lot about it and try and do it as best I can.
Yep.
And just see if it works. And I guess it kind of has been a little bit, but it's still fucking exhausting, right?
It is, man, and every artist feels it. You know, I can't tell you everybody, you know, how many people have come in here. Because, I mean, a lot of artists, I won't say it, like a good bit of them are pretty introverted dudes who
Oh,
just
for sure.
like to sit and make music.
To get good at making music, you have to be comfortable at sitting in a room on your own for like years.
Yeah, it is wild, dude. I'm so pale right now.
Suddenly you're expected to like go and like be super sociable and meet all these people, and like I don't mind doing it, and I definitely do get a buzz off that sometimes. But generally, it is a bit of like a catch-22 situation, you know. Like some of the best producers I know are like the most shy dudes, and they don't want to be out in public. They barely even want to like play shows, and yeah, it's a shame that like those people get left behind a bit nowadays, you know.
Yeah.
Some people seem to make it work, but yeah, I'm by no means the best producer. Like I know so many people that should be doing better, but they just don't get the socials thing, or they can't be fucked doing it, you know.
Yep. I feel it, man. Dude, when did you so originally from the UK, when did you move to Canada?
So I landed on like the 28th of December 2022, so like Yeah, like 2 years, 4
What,
months.
why Canada?
So you played Shambhala, right? That's kind of where we met briefly.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it came from that, really. I mean, I just posted a little carousel the other day, actually, of my first Canadian trip. So that was in 2015.
Bring the mic a little bit with you, too.
sorry.
I mean, you can lean back and bring it with you.
Yeah, so 2015, I played my first shows in Canada. But also, to go back even further, like, I started Father Funk after hearing a bunch of mixes from the Fractal Forest, specifically Sticky Bud's 2011 Fractal Forest mix. And, like, all the guys that put out mixes from that stage, it was all this kind of, like, mixture of... I mean, yeah, I was, like, a ska punk guy, right? So I loved, like, this fusion of genres. And then when I got into, like, dubstep and, like, drum and bass, and I loved drum and bass that had, like, horns in, like the early Hospital Records stuff, like the kind of funky drum and bass shit. So then when I heard... like Sticky Bud's set, it was like all the things I loved. It was like brass, funk, hip hop, wobbly bass lines, all this fun shit. So that's what inspired me to start Father Funk in the first place. So I started doing that stuff pretty much as like a joke, just for fun, really. And then it started to take off. And then, yeah, I ended up playing at Motion Ocean Festival in 2015 in Canada. And I was just like, this place is fucking awesome. Like, I want to live here. And that was like, 10 years ago now. And then, yeah, after just like years of touring, I'd probably play like maybe two tours a year in Canada. Like, and I was getting paid more than I was getting paid at home, getting better billings. I just felt way more respected in Canada. And I just kind of felt like if I don't give this a shot and at least try living there for a bit and see how it goes, I'm going to regret it for the rest of my life. So, yeah, I just went for it. My sister actually came out and did like a ski season in Whistler. And she got like this 2-year work and holiday visa thing. And it was like so easy to get. I was like, oh, I'll just do that.
Hell yeah.
Because I was like in the middle of waiting for a permanent residency at that point, which I just got recently and ended up taking like 4 years. Wow. But the 2-year one was like super quick. And yeah, it's been great, man. It's definitely yeah, like I say, I get paid more in Canada and I get respected more and whatnot, but there's a lot higher expenses. Like Vancouver, for the starts, is a fucking expensive place to live. Yeah, and also you fly into every show instead of driving to every show. So it's almost like, I don't know, it feels like that the higher up I get, the more money I spend to maintain my career.
That don't change, brother. Yeah. That don't fucking change, man.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like I'm any further ahead than I was, but yeah, I don't know. It definitely feels like it's trending in the right direction. Also, I'm a bit closer to the States, and like the way my music's been going since I started experimenting a bit more with like the dubstep shit over lockdown, like it makes more sense to be based in North America, I think. Like I couldn't really play the sets I play here in the UK. I don't think they would go down very well.
Why's that?
Just people don't really. I mean, dubstep's definitely coming back around a bit in the UK, but it's always been quite deep. The stuff that's maintained over the last 10 years or so has always been the quite deep sort of dubby reggae stuff. Not so much. I mean, like my stuff's kind of like got a bit of a bro step edge, right? And that stuff's like not really very popular in the UK at all. I definitely like slipped in a couple of tunes when I went back there in December and it worked, but I don't think I could play a set of like mostly what I play here. I definitely feel like that's another good thing about Canada and the US. I just feel like I can play whatever the fuck I want for the most part. Yeah. And I think people in the UK think that EDM is this like dirty word. And in some ways I understand because it's like given a new name for a thing that's been around forever, right? But I think what it really means over here is that if you're into EDM or electronic music, you're into everything. Whereas in the UK, it's like you're into jungle or drum and bass or house, and if you're into house, you don't like drum and bass, or if you're into drum and bass, you don't like house. It's all these like factions, right? Whereas here, like you can just play anything and people are stoked about it. And I think people are just excited to hear like a new sound or a new tempo or whatever. And people are just stoked to hear you try something new. Whereas I think certainly if you're like a drum and bass artist in the UK and you tried to play like some dubstep or something, people would be like, whoa.
That's so drum and bass of them, though.
Yeah.
Every drum and bass head I know, it's like that's all they fuck with.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
It's weird.
And I love drum and bass, but I don't understand that. Like, I feel like, yeah, I don't understand.
Those old drum and bass heads, dude, they're some elitist, and I respect them. But fuck them.
I think it's important to have those kind of scenes, and I respect the people that do it. And like, you know, there's certain guys in those scenes. Like I saw Friction who's playing with Dirt Monkey the other week, and like, you know, you see someone like that and you're like, okay, this guy is he's been doing this shit a long time and he gets it. And like, he's an ambassador for the sport of drum and bass.
Oh yeah, dude.
So to speak. But yeah, I just get bored, man. Like I love drum and bass, but I can't do, like I used to go to drum and bass events and it was just like the same shit all night. It's like, and also there's so many different kinds of drum and bass, but you go to a drum and bass event and it's all the same kind of drum and bass all night. It's not like they start with Liquid and then have like some jungle and then it's just jump up drum and bass all night. Even from the guy that produces Liquid, he's playing fucking heavy shit too. And like I like variation, you know. Like even within a set, I like to, you know, go to drum and bass, do this and that. I definitely like came up on drum and bass big time, but it's changed a lot since I was into it back in the day.
Yeah, it's so big in the UK, and everybody every year says like, "Oh, this is a big year for drum and bass. Drum and bass is bigger." I've heard it every year that I've been in electronic music. Drum and bass is making a comeback in the States, and I feel like it has gotten like bigger, but it's not like it's not like the like main genre where it's like, you know, I feel like a lot of those shows are still somewhat underground. Where in like the UK, it's like, yeah, people fucking love it.
Yeah, I think it's definitely blown up massively in the last few years, and it's always been around. I don't know if it'll ever have more of a moment than it's having right now. I don't know. It's like, I think it's just like any other genre at this point, isn't it? Really, like it's not even underground. That's the other thing, is that people act like it's this underground thing that's about to break out. It's like there's fucking like number ones that have drum and bass in now, and like like pop artists from the UK are releasing drum and bass songs and shit. Not to shit on drum and bass. I just mean, let's not pretend it's underground anymore, because it isn't. But what's good about that is that it does, you know, it creates this industry for the people that do make dope shit and that do make the underground stuff. Like those guys can actually have careers off the back of the success of drum and bass as a whole. And that's pretty cool. You know, I feel like everyone gets lifted up by that. And maybe even we do to some extent. But I just never really felt part of that scene. I think I'm not really cool enough for drum and bass. I'm not really cool enough for any scene. I've always been a bit of a...
Dude, with that t-shirt, you can fit in anywhere, buddy.
Always been a bit of a weirdo, and always just wanted to have fun with it, you know. And I think drum and bass takes itself very fucking seriously, you know.
Yeah, it does. Like I said, that's very drum and bass of them, dude.
Yeah.
I had some old heads I was trying to get the respect of in Mississippi. It was tough, man. And once I finally got it, I'm like, I really don't care. Really don't care anymore.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think like I said before, I'm kind of averse to that shit anyway. Like, I think I wouldn't want to be part of a scene or too accepted in those kind of circles. It just feels too claustrophobic, you know. I'd rather be a lone wolf.
Yeah. Do you ever, because you're talking about all these different genres, with your name being Father Funk, do you feel pressure to be funky, to keep it funky, to stay funky? Just because the word's in the name?
Yeah, I definitely do to an extent. I don't know. I'm definitely not a huge fan of my name these days, and it's not because of that so much. I don't know. It just sounds dumb, you know. It's like, again, it kind of, people don't take me as seriously, I think. But I think it's also a blessing in disguise too, where like it's not so much about just about the funk thing. It's like it forces me to not take myself seriously, and like, you know, like I'm always just gonna have fun with it, and like that's not a bad thing, is it?
No.
And sure, I definitely feel the pressure to add the funk element too, but it's just an easy way to differentiate myself from everyone else. Like a lot of the times when I write a song, I'll often make a drop or whatever, and it's not really got any funk elements to it, and then I kind of add that afterwards. It doesn't always start with a funk element. Sometimes it does, but it's kind of like a fun challenge to try and like force it into that space. And then the minute I do, it's like suddenly it's original and it's got a vibe to it and it's like unique, you know? And I think funk's such a like broad spectrum of like sounds. Like there's so many ways you could go about it. You can make it funky by like the musicality is funky, you know, like the scales you're using or the rhythm you're using, or it could just be that the sound palette is funky, like you just got some clavs in there or a guitar twang here and there. Like it doesn't take much, right? And I think it's just an easy way for me to have this sound. I think if I wasn't tied down by that, because I'm into so many different styles and I make so much shit, I don't know if it would sound as cohesive, you know? I think it's quite an easy shortcut to everything I release having my sound to it, you know? But no, I definitely like, I don't know, what's the word? I don't want to say dream about, but maybe I do fantasize a bit about it if I had a different name and I could just kind of do whatever the fuck I wanted. But I don't know if it would ever come out sounding that different, to be honest.
Yeah, at least the name ain't Daddy Funk. Then that'd be fucking silly, you know? You'd have my vote, though. You know what I'm saying?
Sweet.
Is funk big in the UK? Because I come from, like, the South, where it's like we have a lot of New Orleans culture everywhere. It's very funky, a lot of horns, a lot of, like, just really good bassists, drummers, and it's just, like, funk everywhere you go. Like, and I go to somewhere like Denver, right, where it's, like, they don't have that all over the place. It's not really a funky town. But funky can mean a lot of different things. But when I think of funk, I guess I kind of think of, like, a groove, like the bass line. That's just like where my mind goes, is like the funk that I grew up around. Is there that sound in the UK?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely similar to here, where it's like depends on the city. But like I went to university in Leeds, at Leeds College of Music, and Leeds was like a big funk place. Like they had like the longest running Motown night in the country or something.
Oh yeah,
it's like weekly Motown night.
And let me pause you real quick. Is school free over there?
Not university, no.
Gotcha. Okay.
I was actually the first year to get like triple fees. Like, I think our generation has just been like fucked over every turn.
Dude, we're just getting.
Yeah. It's the worst. But yeah, Leeds was dope. Like Leeds, I could go out like any night of the week, and there'd be like some old vinyl funk DJ playing in like a cocktail bar. Like that was kind of like my university life, was like going out and seeing a lot of like funk DJs playing like real funk music, and a lot of funk bands. Definitely a lot of bands in my college that played that kind of shit too. I don't really know too much about the rest of the country. Like Bristol was definitely, I don't know if I'd say like a funk, like predominantly funk place, but there's a lot of music in Bristol. But Bristol is definitely more of like a sound system culture, kind of reggae kind of place. Like Bristol's.
And we learned on this podcast that sound system culture people, they're all bald.
Really?
Yeah. We narrowed it down.
Okay.
So if they weren't shaved heads, they're not really sound system culture folks.
Either that or like knee-long dreadlocks.
Oh yeah. They've been working on that sound system for 20 years, dude. They've got it. They've got that thing humming.
Yeah. No, I do kind of miss that about the UK though. Like there's more of a like underground sound system culture. I don't know if I've ever seen like a hand-built sound system in North America.
Oh, I see them all the time. I feel like yeah. I know like Hennessy started pretty fucking underground, which is hand built, and then like took off their own thing. I think PK, but that's Canadian
I guess
too.
PK probably started that way too. But yeah, there's a lot more kind of, in the UK you'll have an event that's more built around the sound system. It's not like about the headliner. It's like electrical sound systems night or Channel 1 sound systems night, and it's all, you go there to hear the sound system, and then the DJs are all people that are part of the crew of that sound system. Maybe who all of them helped build the sound system, and that's kind of the focus. I think that might have been how it kind of started more so back in the day too.
I mean, you got a lot of that at like Burning Man.
Okay.
Where it's like, people have these stages that they bring every year, and it's like they're built around the sound system, and just like the people playing, it's like their crew or people they invite, but they'll go do it because the sound system's dope. So Burning Man's got like a really big sound system culture, and I've actually never been, but I've had a lot of people. I know a lot of people who have been, and
I've never been either.
Heard the stories.
Kind of tempted by it, but I don't think I'm too much of a broke ass to fucking spend like $3,000 to go to a festival. I'm not
is it $3,000, Kyle? Can you look up the price of Burning Man? I know it's like once you get there, you're not spending money.
I mean, there's the ticket price, but then I've got to fly there, and you've got to pay for all your water and all your food, and get like I don't necessarily need an RV, but you still got to get there and shit.
Oh yeah,
it seems like a big investment.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do it without an RV. I mean, you're in the desert, son.
Yeah,
that's wild. Yeah, you think about like places to go to like have a rave, and they go to a fucking desert, and they're like, this is it.
Yeah.
$575 plus a $150 vehicle pass.
Okay, so that's the bottom end of the scale.
Bro, that's like the price of every festival now. You remember when festivals used to be like $200?
Yeah, totally. Dude.
Jesus.
But this guy here is saying you should definitely plan to spend closer to $2,500 or $3,000 since you have to bring pretty much everything you need to survive for 8 days.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, man. That's hardcore. I mean, that's just partying in the desert for 8 days.
Yeah, and they go off the barter system. What would you barter? What would be your thing?
My ass. I would trade my ass, and I would get really good food. I don't know. What would I trade? That's a good question, Kyle.
That's a good question. I would hope my music would be enough.
No, dude, but like, I want this, and you can have this for it. What is like a good thing to trade? I don't have a lot of, I don't know what's a value other than my ass. Huh?
You could cut people mullets.
I can't cut hair, dude. I got some goofy ass hands. I'd fuck that up. I don't know. I trade toilet paper. I don't know why my mind goes there. I'd be like, I trade you $10 for this burrito. That's the way you can barter. I don't know. I don't even smoke cigarettes, but I probably just buy cigarettes to trade them.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout.
Yeah, cigarettes. What?
The cigarette bandit of Burning
Man. I do cigarettes, man. What would you barter?
I don't know. I quite like cooking. Maybe I'd make some snacks to give out, some shit. I don't really know how like realistic that is in the middle of the desert though.
Food and people need to eat.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what'd be good for you? I bet you got a lot of like really cool shirts that you don't wear no more.
Yeah, true.
Barter some t-shirts.
True.
Yeah.
I definitely used to give out a lot of clothes. Like I always like lend people come to festivals who don't normally come to festivals, and I would like dress them up because they like needed to be like a bit more pizzazzy, you know? Mm-hmm. And then I'd be like, you should just keep that. You look dope. And then like, oh, and they just like never wear it again. I used to do that a lot.
The other thing, dude, toothpaste would be a good one to barter.
Yeah.
Like those little travel toothpaste, and then like a fresh pair of socks.
Ooh.
Those two things
Yeah.
are so nice. New pair of socks and toothpaste.
Yeah, but it's the simple stuff that people forget. Like
Yeah.
toothpaste, you know?
And socks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make some of your own like raw organic toothpaste.
Oh yeah, there's just DMT in it. There's just a fucking giving people ayahuasca paste.
DM toothpaste.
Damn,
I think you're onto something.
that'd be wild. That'd be fucking wild. What else, man? What else do you like to do? Like what hobbies do you have, man, outside of music? I mean, you seem like a
I don't have a lot, to be honest. I mean, I exercise a lot. Like I said, I like cooking. I like cooking a lot. Yeah, I like watching movies and series and shit like that. I'm mostly just music though, all day. That's always been my jam.
yeah. You don't have anything to like. You need to decompress and get out the fucking house. What are you gonna go do?
I mean, in terms of getting out of the house, I mean, we live right by Stanley Park in Vancouver, which is pretty dope. So yesterday I went on like a bike ride all around the seawall.
And
which
who's
is pretty
we?
Awesome. Me and my girlfriend,
Nice.
Ingrid. She goes by Schming. She's also a DJ producer.
And she come from the UK too?
No. She's from Vancouver.
Oh, nice. So you met her. You moved out to Canada by yourself.
Yep.
Was that scary?
I mean, kind of. I think it kind of got scarier because I already knew people out there, but I don't know. I think homesickness is a weird thing. Like, I don't know if you get it living here.
I miss my
I know you
family.
moved here. Yeah,
I just miss my family.
it's weird. Like, I was so excited to come out here. I knew plenty of people, but it's then like being here for a couple of years. I'm like, oh, it actually is kind of hard to like make new friends, and like the friends that I do have, not that they're not good friends, but it's like they're not the friends from home that I have that I'm super super close to, and we were like so close knit for so long, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like become a bit more daunting as time's gone on. But in a lot of ways, I've just kind of accepted that this is like a different chapter of my life, and it's like, you know, I had my like 20s where we were all close knit. I think even if I'd stayed in Bristol, you know, those friends kind of drift apart anyways, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of in this new chapter where it's like, you know, I'm in a lot of ways I'm here to advance my career, right? So I'm okay with like sacrificing my social life a bit and just grinding my fucking ass off because that's why I'm here. And like maybe in a few years I might go back and slow down a bit, but right now I'm here to fucking work hard, you know.
Yeah, that is a good point though. It is. I feel like it gets harder to make friends when you get older,
Oh, for sure.
which is weird. I mean, I guess when you're younger, it's just like, hey, you live next door. You know what I mean? You're my best friend now.
Especially being sober too. Like so many friendships I've made or connections I've made. It's all from like you go to the after party after the show, or
Yeah.
like, you know, you're at the bar, or like all these things, or like even like dating. It's like, you know, you go for a drink. It's like all these things. It's like without all that stuff, it is pretty fucking hard to make friends being sober.
Mm-hmm.
But I found that the friends that I do make are like friends for life.
Yeah.
You know, I can maybe count on one hand the real friends I've made in the last like 5 years, but they're all solid fucking people. Whereas before it's like you make a million like friends, but none of them are really friends. You know?
Yeah, just homies. So I say
Yeah.
that's the homie. Yeah, I'm starting to think about it right now. Like I'm trying to think like the last time I made a friend with somebody that was completely out of like the music world or like the comedy world, and I can't think of it. Like Kyle, you've become one of my closest friends, but you know we met because
I
of
met
this
at your comedy
at
show.
the comedy, and
Yeah.
now we do this podcast.
Yep.
But like I'm blessed. I'm not saying that to like be mean. I love you.
No, you fucking hate me. It's cool.
No, I love you, but like I'm trying to think like I can't remember the last friend I made outside of like music or
Yeah.
comedy, which
It's
is
weird, yeah.
wild.
I also feel like certainly more so in Canada. I don't know if it's because I'm like better known or whatever, but there's always this like pretense of like, oh, I'm Father Funk or whatever. It's like,
Mhm.
no, I'm just fucking Will. I'm a person. Like, you don't need to put me on this pedestal. You know, people will like apologize, like, oh, sorry, I didn't realize you're Father Funk. I'm like, what, you were supposed to like treat me differently or something? Like, I'm
Oh,
just
yeah.
a fucking person.
Yeah.
And I think it's a lot harder to just have like a genuine friendship and connection with someone, certainly someone new who already knew you as that person, right?
Yeah.
Because they already have this preconceived idea of who you are. And that's not their fault. Like, I totally get it. It's not to like shut on those people at all. It's just a weird thing to navigate, you know?
So we're dynamic. Did you your girlfriend you said is also a DJ?
Mm-hmm.
And did y'all meet because y'all were both DJs in this scene? We're talking about like, oh man, when's the last time we met somebody and then you have like your partner?
I mean, we actually met at a Dirt Monkey show, which is funny because he played the same venue like the other night. So it
Nice.
was like, I don't know, 2 years later or whatever. But no, I mean, I didn't know she was a DJ at the time. She was just there. I think she was helping run a festival at the time, so that's why she knew who I was, and that's why she said hello or whatever. But it wasn't like she was DJing or anything like that.
And then
but
you
at the end of the day, we did meet because of the scene, I guess.
And then you abused your power to get her. That's what I say about my girlfriend. I'm like, yeah, I met her at a venue, and then I abused my power to get her over to the house, and she never left. Because they know us DJs abusing powers with our long-term partners.
Meanwhile, she doesn't even listen to Mitch's music.
She hates it.
Yeah, my girlfriend's not as into my kind of shit either. I mean, she definitely appreciates what I do, but I think it's nice to be with someone that, like, she's way more into, like, rhythm and stuff. And she's also a lot more into metal, which has kind of got me more into metal. Like, I mean, it's the same with a lot of my friends. I like to, like, be influenced by different shit, and I think it's a really nice kind of gateway to different styles when you can see someone else appreciate it, you know? Like, one of the guys I lived with at college was, like, really into house, and I wasn't a house guy at all. But, you know, seeing him be so into it and passionate about it, you know, when he made a song that he was proud of, I could vibe with it because I'm like, yeah, fucking, you nailed it. It might not be my thing, but I'm like, you know, through that's like a gateway to me now appreciating certain parts of it, you know. I think it really comes down to me, like the individual. It's like if this individual is passionate about it and that's their vibe and they're killing it, I can enjoy that. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to enjoy that whole genre of music, but I can at least appreciate what that individual's doing.
Man, if only people could take that philosophy and add it to other things of life.
Yeah.
Wow. It ain't my thing, but you're obviously very passionate about it, and
right.
it is cool.
And that's way cooler than like someone who does something that I think is cool, but they're doing it for all the wrong reasons, like just to make money off a clout or they're a social media influencer or whatever. It's like, I'd much rather take the authentic guy that's doing something I'm not into than the fake guy that's doing something that I should be into, you know?
Yeah. Surprised you didn't like house, because house can be so funky.
Oh no, I love house now.
Yeah,
I mean, this is way back, like
back in
when
the
I was
gap,
first
dude.
kind of like opening my mind a little bit to more other kinds of electronic music. I love house music now. I mean, there's a lot of garbage, but there is in every genre, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Did you ever think about moving to the States? Do you play a lot in the States? Like, are you coming down here a bunch to play?
So I did a tour with the Floozies last year on my first visa. I'm now on a new visa, which is like a 3-year thing. So hopefully I'll be doing a lot more now. And yeah, we were toying with the idea of moving here, but you know, with the way things have been going recently, it's a little bit scary, and I'm not super fucking stoked about it. So, but I still on the cards potentially one day. But I'm pretty happy in Canada right now, and it's not too far to get here and stuff.
Yeah, dude, America and Canada are beefing, dude.
Yeah.
Shit's kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of funny because every Canadian's so cool,
Yeah.
and every American so cool.
Yeah.
It's all these stupid fucking politicians.
Yeah, totally. I mean, yeah, for the most part, the worlds that we're in, everyone's cool, right? So it's yeah, I'm not putting anyone on blast, but I'm not in any rush to get over here, I don't think. And also, I like literally just got my visa for Canada. I guess I could live here now actually on the visa I have, but yeah, I've been doing a lot of visa and a lot of moving around shit that I'm kind of bored of. So I'm kind of ready to stay in one place for a bit.
Yeah, you gonna stay there forever, or you gonna move back to the UK?
I don't know about that. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm just gonna go with the flow and see what happens. I definitely feel like my trajectory is, I can see more of a future in my music now living in North America. In the UK, it was like I hit the ceiling because there just wasn't really a scene for what I do, like beyond where I got to, you know? Like most of the big events I played were events I ran myself. It wasn't like there was other events like that to go and play around the country.
Dude, I'm fucking, there's so much parallel right here. That was exactly how it was for me in Mississippi, dude. Throw them only events and hit a cap and had to move, man. I mean, I'm sure this is helpful for anybody that's listening that like is maybe just stuck, not even with just music, but just like opportunities for jobs or growth personally, dude. Yeah, fucking move.
Or put on your own thing. But yeah, I got to the point where I was like, this isn't the best use of my energy. Like other people should be running shows, you know. Like I can do shows and it's fun and whatever, but it's just like it takes a lot of effort, a lot of stress, and like I'm quite happy now that I'm not running my own events, you know.
Oh, it's stressful, man. It takes a lot of time. You got a lot to lose.
Totally. But yeah, I had a lot of fun doing it, and it was a good chapter, and made a lot of friends along the way and stuff. But yeah, eventually you just kind of got good to where the party is, I think. And same with the social media shit, innit? It's like, sadly, like it's about like, do you want it hard enough? Like, are you willing to sacrifice all your friends and family? Are you willing to sacrifice all your time? Like it is like that, you know. It's not easy. I think people assume that we have this like super dope glitzy life, and you know, because I'm a DJ, I'm rich, and because I've been doing this so long, I'm super comfortable, and it couldn't be further from the truth, you know. Like,
yeah, I sit in front of a computer all day, gearing up for this 1 hour event.
Yeah,
my 1 hour set this weekend. You know what I mean?
But I love it, and that's why I can do it, you know, because I love it so fucking much. But I think, yeah, people especially now when you see people blow up on TikTok and shit, I think everyone assumes that's kind of everyone's trajectory, and it's like people are like frustrated if they don't get there within like 2 years. It's like, I've been doing this for like fucking 12 years or some shit. I'm like embarrassed to even say that because I don't feel like I've got anywhere. But it's just like my day to day, it hasn't really changed that much. If anything, I work 100 times harder and I do 100 times the things.
Yeah. Man, don't feel embarrassed for saying that, dude. I mean, they say it takes 10 years for an overnight success, right? But then the people who do have like the 2 years in that have the overnight success, because maybe a TikTok, when anything goes up that quick, it's going to come down.
Yeah, totally.
I think I'd rather do the long, gradual growth and builds like an actual...
Yeah, I definitely got to the point where I feel like I can put out anything I want and people are stoked about it. Whereas if you're like riding the wave of a trend, people want you to just do that one thing. And if you don't do it, people aren't interested or people are going to like turn against you or whatever. Mm-hmm. Whereas like you say, the slow growth, it's like those fans are fans for life. Mm. And as long as you don't veer off the path too much. But I mean, I've done loads of dumb shit. I did like an 80s pop song over lockdown. I did a rhythm track last month, and like no one's like calling me out saying like what the fuck's going on. Like people are just like, oh cool, you know. And I feel that there's more success in that than being the biggest DJ in the world, but you only get to make one kind of music all the time.
When you think about it, would you want to be, if you could tomorrow become the biggest DJ in the world? For real, like if you could have a fucking genie, and the genie's like, I can grant you one wish, and the only wish I can grant you is to become the biggest DJ in the world. Would you want that?
I mean, like I was just saying, it depends on the kind of scenario. Like if it was a scenario where I had to stick to like one sound for the rest of my life, then fuck no. But if it was like doing exactly what I'm doing now, then hell yeah. But I can't imagine that would be the case. I don't think you can be the biggest DJ in the world by being like doing multi-genre thing. I mean, I know Skrillex is kind of like that to an extent, but I think he's a bit of an anomaly. I don't think you can really like model someone like that. You know, he's a fucking genius. Yeah. A lot of the top fucking DJs in the top 100 chart or whatever, they're all doing the exact fucking same sound.
Yeah, Skrillex doesn't do it, but Grizz does a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. There's not as many. Yeah, you think like a Martin Garrix, you know, you're getting like what you get. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. God, can you pull up the biggest DJs in the world? Marshmello is actually one of them. And he does everything. That's a good thing. I don't know. I just thought of that question. Like, if you could, would you? Because your whole life changes, right?
It's an interesting thought. Because also, it's the kind of people you're around too, right? Like, again, like, you know, it'd be nice to have some more success. But the kind of people that book Father Funk, it's usually going to be a pretty funky, weird event, and all the people there are going to be pretty fucking cool. You know, it's not like you play an all drum bass event like we were talking about before. It's just gonna be like a lot of cokeheads and fucking like you say, maybe some elitist types. And it's like, I don't want to be around that energy all the time.
Mm-hmm. So here we go. Martin Garrix still number one. He's been number one for fucking ever.
That's pretty crazy.
Number one.
That's wild. David Guetta, Dimitri
Vegas, and Like Mike.
Timmy Trumpet. That name always makes me laugh.
How
dude.
old is this fucking list?
2024.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Timmy Trumpet hit me in the DMs the other week. I thought that was pretty fucking random, but cool. I can't even see them.
They're all making a very similar style, right?
Hardwell, Steve Aoki, Alan Walker, Don Diablo.
Damn, so like none of the people that we named, like a Skrillex or like a Grizz or even Excision.
Skrillex is 19.
19, wow. Yeah. Wow.
Calvin Harris, Tiesto, 23.
Wow.
Fred again, 28.
Man, Fred again's blow up's been crazy.
I don't see Marshmello on here yet.
You just passed him.
Did I?
Yeah.
34. Oh, I see. Okay, 34. Let me try to find 2020. Oh, yeah, this is 2024 at the end of the year, yeah.
Okay, well, good for all those folks, but like...
all power to him. But.
Yeah, because you think of something, you're like, I don't know why I thought of that when I was thinking, like, you have the genie, but like, you think your whole life changes to where it's like, all right, you can't go out to even the grocery store.
True.
Like you spending majority of your days working on music, gearing up for the weekend. That's done. You're on a fucking plane going overseas and doing that 7-8 months out the year.
Yeah, totally.
Man, that sounds rough. Now, obviously the monetary side of it sounds good. You're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be rich. Like who doesn't want to make a lot of fucking money? That sounds great. Then, your whole lifestyle will
I'd
change.
rather be the biggest producer in the world than the biggest DJ in the world.
Wow.
That's kind of my one of my real like stretch goals is like I want to produce music for like pop artists and like because I write songs, I can play instruments. Like I've been studying music and songs my entire life, and like that's like not to put people down, but it's like people that make bangers are fucking. There's so many of those people now, and you can just go on Splice and download a bass sound, and everyone thinks you're hot shit. but not everyone can write a song, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I've been writing songs since I was like 12 years old. And I loved all the punk stuff. I'd love to like produce bands. That'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, that'd be.
Like my real hero is like John Feldman from like Goldfinger, who produced like the Used and shit like that.
Yep. I think he did
Bill Stevenson from Descendants. Like,
didn't John do a he did a My Chemical Romance album too, right?
yeah, I think you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
I think he did an Escape the Fate album.
Yeah, that's kind of like where I'd like to see it go. Because I mean, I love playing shows and I love touring, but I would love to be able to be a bit more pick and choosy with the time. So like have a set time a year where I go and play a lot of shows, and then the rest of the time I could just like work on music with artists and stuff. And
Yeah. And that's coming more. I mean, like the crossover stuff is going to come more. I mean, because producers are just getting so good. And you have like even like when the Skrillex went and did pop, you're like, dude, you don't hear like snares like that in pop music. You know what I mean? It could be something as simple as a snare where it takes like a dubstep guy to fucking bring that in.
Well, that's the thing I've noticed too, is like since kind of toying with this idea more, it's like I used to think, oh, I can't be a pop producer if I'm not super into pop music and I'm not like paying attention to trends and all this shit. But it feels like in the last year or two, like Charlie XCX, like all those types of people, they're a lot more individualized. They're not all just like following the rest of the pack. It's like the artists that have really hit in the last few years have an individual sound. And a lot of them are very influenced by electronic music too.
Yeah,
so it's like actually someone like me who's completely uninformed when it comes to pop music post like 1988 is like probably going to do a pretty good job. Like, because I've got like a completely unique perspective, you know, at least I'd like to think so.
Yeah, and I could be wrong, but like Suicide Boys even have like kind of like an experimental like production behind them where like the hats and snares sound like it could be like a fucking bass artist, like a weird left field bass artist. And they're like, I saw them sell out 2 nights of Fiddler's Green out here, which is 14,000 people each night.
Crazy.
Kyle, can you look up the biggest producers in the world? I'm curious about that. Is it DJ Mustard right now, just because of Kendrick Lamar yelling, Mustard? Could be. I could see it.
It feels like that world too is like so not easy to break into, but there's a lot more guys that are just like plucked out of obscurity, you know. That'll be like a guy will make a beat on BeatStars and suddenly it's Old Town Road or whatever. And it's
Yeah,
like
when that
little
beat
kid is just like, pfft.
Wasn't that beat found on YouTube, Old Town Road?
I think it was BeatStars. Yeah.
BeatStar, I ain't even heard of that.
BeatStars is like where you can like sell beats online and shit.
Oh, deep. I didn't like, I think they took it in like Diplo, like fucking got on it too somehow. And what's crazy about a lot of these producers is like half of them you've probably never heard of, right? Because they're just the guy
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just like credits on the on the albums.
in the back making the music. Dude, Timberland I saw is Rick Rubin.
I'm surprised Benny Blanco is not on that list. Benny Blanco. Makes,
Yeah, I would
like,
think. I don't know. Let's see if we can find like yeah, here we go. Yeah, Jack Antonoff, Metro Boomin, Noah 40,
I don't know any of these people.
Metro
A.G.
Boomin.
Cook, Jacob Collier, LP. Oh man, that boy. Calvin Harris.
It's a weird list.
Yeah.
Lisa Keys,
Where do they get these numbers from?
Catherine Marks, Young Guru, Mike Dean.
Yeah, I
Take a
wonder how
Day Trip.
I wonder how they get through this list. Is it like based on like hits or
Yeah, let's see.
I'm curious. I mean, because writing a hit's not fucking easy. Like you said, it's not a tune, it's a song.
Yeah. And then not on top of that, it's like some of the best production you've ever heard. But I'm sure there'll be like 100 guys involved. There'll be someone else doing the mixing and whatnot.
Right.
But still, like,
Oh, this is Billboard's best of all time. Let's see.
Interesting.
Just trying to see if they have something for 2024, but
And it's going to, every year it's just going to fucking change. Because like we said, there's just going to be that one fucking kid that gets plucked on a complete accident. And then, oh shit, I'm producing for Lil Nas X now.
yeah, right.
So like the #1 song in the world at that time. It's a wild concept. If you could work with any artist to produce for, who would it be?
I've been listening to a lot of Baby No Money recently. Do you know that guy? He's a Canadian artist. He's like a very independent, kind of like, I'd say he's a pop star, but he's like, yeah, independent, kind of very TikTok. But like all his beats are very like electronic-y, and like I listen to them and I'm like, oh shit, I could totally have made this. Like one of them is like a flip of Super Freak, and one of them was like a flip of Lowrider by War. And then he had that one with like a nice kind of like bass-liney bass in it and shit. I'm like, yeah, that would be the fucking dude. And he's in Vancouver too, which is cool.
Baby No Money?
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, this sounds in Vancouver, dude. Shoot your shot.
Yeah, I know. I mean, there's got to be someone I know or someone out there who knows him. So
Shoot him a fucking email,
Yeah.
dude. It goes down in the DMs.
yeah, totally.
Like Yo Gotti was right. I think that's Yo Gotti. But it does go down in the DMs.
Totally.
Just Snapchat him that pussy. Fucking
Yeah, that's the guy.
Hell yeah.
But I mean, yeah, there's an endless list of people I'd love to work with. Like, obviously, in the electronic world, we could go on forever, but like...
Outside of the electronic world. Let's stay outside of it.
But yeah, it'd be nice to work with someone like that who's like understands the importance of doing something a bit different and a bit more dancey, you know?
Yeah, dude.
But at the same time, I'd love the challenge to like have to write for like Ariana Grande or something and see what I'd come up with, you know?
Yeah, that'd be stressful, but cool.
Yeah.
I do like ICP, dude. Insane Clown Posse.
Hell yeah.
Bro, that would go so off.
Dude, I feel like genuinely like they're just waiting to cross over into electronic music, or at least have a collab. You should definitely.
Yeah, I'm telling you to reach out, dude. Fuck it, I'm reaching out, dude.
Do it.
I'm gonna get ICP on a song.
Dude, sick. That would be so dope.
And they don't listen. I love the like whole Juggalo community and like what they've built. They've made a lot of really bad music. So like,
I can't say I've ever listened to one of their songs like all the way through.
They're fun.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they'll fucking write a song about killing a pedophile. They'll write a song about they just write weird songs. There's some weird dudes, but yeah, they've made a lot of bad tunes, and I'd be scared. That'd be something I'd be scared about.
Well, it's not like you can make it worse. You don't need to worry about it.
True,
Nailing
true. I could probably
Shit, this song's too good. Let's save that one.
They're like, yo, tone it down a bit, dude. We like our shit to be mid-range.
Yeah, that's a good point. I can't make it any worse. Well, what else is up, man? Anything new?
Yeah, I don't know. Just mostly just like, yeah, all geared up towards the US stuff at the moment. Now I've got this visa. It was so expensive and so stressful.
How was that? How was that process? Because I mean, you're not even technically Canadian.
No. So the permanent, the previous visa I had was a P2, which is like, I think because I lived in Canada, I was eligible for that one. This one's an O1, which is like, I think anyone can get it, or at least English or Canadian. And it's like, I think I'm classed as an alien with extraordinary ability.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, so you have to like prove that you're hot shit, basically. Like you're supposed to have loads of like articles written about you, which I have fucking like zero. But I got a bunch of good testimonials off of people who like vouched for me and shit like that.
And that's to get a visa to work in the States?
Yeah. But then I also had to have a show like penciled every single month for the whole 3-year thing. There was, loads of shit. And I had to like give them my entire travel history, like where I'd been in the last like 10 years, every place I'd lived in the last 10 years, I think. And then we had to pay extra to like rush it. And all in all, it ended up costing me like well over 10,000 Canadian.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Which is like 2,000 American.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. It's not that bad.
And that was like all the money I had in the world. So yeah, I'm definitely gung-ho to make the most of it. But it's an investment. It's worth it.
Dude, God, you just said something I was trying to... I just forgot it. You said something that stuck with me for a second. How long was the process?
So getting the O1, I think we started in like after summer, maybe like October. So it wasn't too long. But like I say, we paid extra to like rush it. Whereas the permanent residency for the state, for Canada, like took like 3 or 4 years. But that was kind of the same amount of paperwork. It just literally, I posted it to them, and 3 years later, I got a message back about it. Like
wow.
That's how. But the Canadian system's so stupid. Like everything's on paper and shit. I had to actually send in all these like original documents in the post.
Oh, that's stressful, dude. I have a handwriting of a second grader. They'd look at my shit and be like, "Nope, we're not letting this idiot into this country."
Yeah, I mean, it was over lockdown I applied to, so I guess they had a lot of people and backlog, and there's like the Ukraine refugees and shit. So like some white DJ from the UK is probably like, oh, let's put him at the bottom of the pile.
Right. What happens if you miss a month? You're like, I have to have a show penciled in every month.
Now that I've got it. So
Gotcha.
it doesn't matter. Yeah, but I think it's just to show that I've got continuous work for the whole thing. And I think basically my manager just had to like make a bunch of contracts with all these promoters. And I think a lot of these shows will happen, just not necessarily on the exact date we said, right?
Yeah.
But that was kind of a lot of the work, like upfront work, was all my manager having to do all that kind of shit.
Damn, dude. Is it weird being on the other side of the world? Just like all the time at this point.
I mean, not all the time, but
Well, I mean, you are. You're here all the time.
but it's like I mean, it's not weird all the time.
Okay.
But like I said, it almost gets weirder the longer I've been here, because it's like you start to realize how different you really are, you know? Like, I mean, I think we have a pretty similar sense of humor, but like my sense of humor is a bit dark and sarcastic and fucked up for a lot of Canadians. And like, I think often I'll get with someone who gets me, or often it's like an Australian or another English person.
Dude, Australians are funny.
Yeah, and suddenly we're like, oh, let's go, let's fucking, you know, because like we try and be funny with a Canadian, and sometimes they're like, oh, fucking
They're like,
hell.
ooh.
Yeah, they take everything a bit personally and shit, and like, So yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that that's a bit weird, and I think people still. It does get a bit grating sometimes. People taking the piss on my accent and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I've heard this like a million times. Like it's not really that funny anymore.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, you're making fun of my accent. I'm taller and bigger than you. I'll kill you.
Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely still. I mean, I'm always gonna feel like an outsider. Even when I was a kid, I did. Like I'm kind of used to that. But I don't know. It's definitely interesting. But I feel like, I mean, like I said yesterday, I was cycling around so the seawall of Vancouver is like right around on the sea, around the park on downtown Vancouver. There's like mountains in the background. I'm like, fuck, this is awesome. Like, I love this place. Like,
yeah,
it feels good.
Dude, next time someone like makes fun of the accent, dude, I'm telling you, fucking rear up, dude. There's nothing scarier than a tall dude with pink hair. Fucking that guy about to fuck you up.
I'm like the least threatening person.
I know, that's why it'd be scary. You're like, dude, this guy's
I'll fucking cuddle you.
See, that's scary.
I'm gonna give you this shirt if you don't shut up.
Keep talking like that. I'm gonna cuddle the shit out of you. That's a threat. I'm gonna cuddle you so hard.
I have used that technique before. Like if someone's being like genuinely wants to beat me up, just get gay on them.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, whoa, they don't want anything to do with you. After that.
Yeah, dude, I'll fucking suck you off to completion, baby. You trying to go there? You trying to get dirty? You about to do this? I'll fucking come on me, bro. I mean, at me.
That's how you take down an insecure man in like 2 seconds flat.
Or you get the flip side of it, and they're like, oh. Yeah. They're like, we're having a fuck off right now.
Shit, I guess we're doing this.
We're fighting to see who's the bottom. And that's just fun. You know what I mean? That's just fun right there. But no, dude, a fucking tall dude, pink hair, fucking.
Yeah, we got this.
That's scary, brother.
I haven't had a fight in a long time.
It has been a while. There's a part of me that misses it a little bit. That's like, feels like I have a fight in me. That's coming at some point, and it's like I feel like I need to let it out. Yeah, you feel that at all?
Yeah, I definitely feel the rage.
Yeah,
at times for sure.
I think it's just natural. You know what I mean? It's in us.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, that's a lot of. I mean, it's a Henry Rollins quote, I think, where he's like, I think it was on a Joe Rogan podcast, and like, what are you motivated by? And he's like, vengeance.
All right, Batman.
He's like still angry at the kids at school who used to fucking bully him, and in a lot of ways, I feel the same too. I'm like, a lot of my energy is like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking show those people.
Oh yeah, that's like the best way to take it though.
And I think there's a Public Image Limited song as well where he's like, anger is an energy, and it's like, yeah, you could think about it as like this negative thing, or or you can think of it as it's something you can put into what you do and fucking smash it. It doesn't have to be this negative thing that you take out on other people. Like it's like this endless well we have as men that we can like put into shit that we do and like smash it.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, we wouldn't have buildings if men didn't feel that way. You know what I mean? We wouldn't have buildings, my guy. That chip on your shoulder, though, that's a good way to use that energy.
Yeah,
use it as a chip on your shoulder. I'm going to fucking show you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I got you. Watch this.
Yeah.
The best way to deal with it. Sometimes I have to remind myself that every now and then. Use it as a chip.
Yeah.
But anyway, dude, this has been great. We got some fan questions that
really?
I'd like to get to. Kyle, you have anything you want to ask Mr. Fatherphone?
Yeah. Yeah, if you could transport a person from any historical era to our present moment, but you could only show them one thing before they went back, which era would you choose to bring them from? And what thing would you choose to show them?
Fuck yeah, dude. That's awesome.
That's a fucking deep question, dude.
Dude, I'd bring back Hitler and I'd kick him in the nuts and then send him back and he's just back there like his nuts are hurt. You know what I mean? Now it sounds bad to say I'm bringing back Hitler, but I'm doing it. I'm doing it to kick him in the nuts. I'm showing him physical pain.
The headline wouldn't say all that, though. It would just say, TVBOO brings back Hitler.
Damn it. I can't have that article out there. Let me rethink it then. Will, you go.
I don't know. I mean, I've always loved like 70s, 80s music, but that's almost not really far enough. Like if we're going to do this shit, it's got to be like crazy. But then I feel like when you go too far back, like if you brought someone from the Egyptian times, they would just have a fucking heart attack, Like,
oh yeah. Dude, I know what I would do.
Like look at this spoon and they're just like, oh.
Dude, I would bring back one of like the forefathers and show them Pornhub. And then send them back and they're just like, what the fuck did I just see?
My word. You
show them like hardcore porn, like gangbang shit. and then you send them back and just let them like tell the story.
I think that's the only answer, really.
Yeah.
I mean, just showing them the internet alone would blow them away.
I know, but I'm showing them the most toxic thing on the internet, which is porn.
Yeah, I don't know. Just like showing someone from like Egyptian times, like Vegas or something, would be kind of fun.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, you think your pyramids are cool? Check out this sphere we got.
Dude, you bring back Genghis Khan, you show him an M16.
Oh my god!
Bring back Genghis Khan, take him to like a punk rock show, take him in the pit. That'd be sick.
That'd be fucking dude. Someone like that, like this, just a warrior.
Exactly, a warrior in the pit.
Oh,
like a wall of death, with like Alexander the Great.
Bro, he's the leader of the pit.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
God, yeah, we bring back literally just like a fucking warrior and take him to like Lost Lands.
Yeah, I think that's the answer.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Good question, Kyle. That was fun.
Yeah,
I think we might have. Now that I think about it, we might have done this question once before, and I think one of the answers was they would bring a caveman back and just show him like a show. Like the lasers and the LED wall and everything. I'm like, what fire is this? I remember that now. I'm like, yeah, that would blow them away. But you're right. You said they might have a heart attack.
Yeah,
so.
totally.
Yeah, we bring back the forefathers. Like, what are these women doing here?
Just show them like AC or something that's not too crazy, but they're like, oh, this is cool.
AC. I'm showing them porn.
Just to show them an ice cube, and they'd be like, what?
Hey, show them a woman that can read.
Yeah, the forefathers would be like, all of these ankles. There's far too many women showing ankles around me.
That's fun. Let's get to a funny question.
Yeah.
Howdy, hi.
Hold on, let me restart that.
All right.
Hey, howdy, hi. It's your boy Nick calling in from beautiful British Columbia, Canada.
What up, Nick?
I'm actually the guy that was screaming at you guys on Facebook to get this podcast to happen. So
Legend.
I'm stoked
Hell yeah.
that we're here doing it now. I mean, I guess you guys are here doing it now, not me. Yeah, I got some questions for you all today. As touring DJs and producers, what do you guys think is probably the most annoying thing? Like, not the hardest thing, but the most annoying. For Father Funk, for you, I feel like it's probably low DJ tables. I seen a video of you recently, and you were like punched over at like a 90-degree angle trying to DJ, and it was probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Second question for y'all. I'm just wondering, like, what do you think is going to be the next biggest trend with bass music here? I personally think it's going to be like genre crossovers. Like, you guys already dabble with that quite a bit. It's fucking sick. I think there's going to be a little bit more of it. Thirdly, my last question here is for Father Funk, and it's all right if you don't want to answer this one. I know that you're just about 6 years sober, if I'm not mistaken. Do you have any tips or anything that you want to share about being sober and being in this industry? Or, like, what was your journey like in the beginning there? Yeah, that's kind of all I really got for you guys. Just wanted to call in and say thank you for always working hard and just being fucking sick, awesome people. Mitch, I usually like to talk shit to you, but I don't know, I just feel like being sweet today. It's
Pussy.
Beautiful Friday. Yeah, thank you guys for being beautiful. Thank you guys for being awesome. I hope the rest of your week goes fantastic. Father Funk, I will see you on 420. TVBOO, hopefully you come to Canada at some point. It's just stop hating us. That would be sick. We love you. Hopefully you love us too, brother. Okay. Love you guys. Have a good one.
All right.
Bye.
Shout out, what is his name? Was his name Will?
Nick.
Shout out Nick for the longest question ever.
Yeah, right.
And what a pussy, dude. Talk shit. You usually talk shit, dude. You've changed, bro.
I think the first question's easy to answer. That's definitely social media, right? We just talked about this before. He was like, what's the most annoying thing about being a DJ?
I know, and I'm trying to think about, oh, dude.
He was saying about low DJ tables, and everyone was replying to that story with me. And honestly, I didn't even notice at the time. I was just doing my thing, and then someone posted a video, and everyone's like, whoa, dude. But I should definitely get on my rider, like, higher tables. But I'm not going to bitch about that. I think the social media thing is definitely the thing that annoys me the most.
I think the thing that annoys me the most are venues with not good AC.
Fair.
Whenever it's a fucking sweatbox and it's just miserable for everybody.
Sometimes a good sweatbox can be vibes,
Sometimes
so.
it can be fun, you know. Some of my favorite shows have been where the shit's dripping from the ceiling.
Yeah.
I've also seen people have to walk out to go get air, and it's like, dude, you guys are trying to make money at the bar.
Yeah.
You're not winning doing that. I won't say that's the most annoying thing. That's just the thing that comes to mind. And dude, I do love Canada. I have a booking there. It's coming.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
The next question was, what do you think the next big trend is? I think UKG for sure.
Think so?
Seems to be kicking off a lot. In the same way that everyone was starting to make drum and bass over here last year, I think everyone's going to start making garage. They already kind of have. Everyone's making two-step garage.
Yep.
I was playing that stuff a few years ago here, and no one got it. I mean, in Canada, anyways. But now it feels like everyone's playing it. So yeah, I feel like UK garage is kind of the next thing.
I'm trying to think
What about
what the
you?
next thing would be. I think he nailed it with crossovers. Yeah, I think Nick nailed it there with crossovers. We're gonna have a lot more crossovers, man. We already have them.
I hope that's the case, because that's kind of already what I'm doing.
Yeah, we already have them, and I'm not talking like genre crossover. I'm talking about like, yes, genre crossover, but like we're gonna get more like big artists.
Okay,
like
we were saying, like ICP.
yeah, we're gonna get more like mainstream
Yeah.
rappers, artists, pop stars going into this a little bit more. And I want to see someone do it with fucking Kid Rock, dude. That shit would rip.
It would be nice to see, because I think a lot of the kind of like electronic crossover pop things have always been like drum and bass or house or very poppy. It'd be nice to see some like real bass music with some big names.
Tay B Immersive did it with Juicy J, and it was great.
Yeah.
Yep,
I thought they did one of the best jobs I've heard of a crossover. You know, a lot of people get the big artists and it just sounds like ass or it doesn't make sense. They did a really good job with it.
I'd love to do a track with Del the Funky Homo Sapien one day. He was like my favorite rapper back in the day, and I think him on some my wonky hip hop shit would be dope. Anyway, what was the next question?
He was talking about your sobriety, and we
right,
already
yeah.
we went through that.
I mean, I get asked this a lot, like if I do have any tips. Mostly I would say find something like that you love so much that makes going sober easy. Like for me, like having music, like the sobriety thing, instantly I was doing way more music and making more music. I had more time to make music. I was enjoying making music more. So it's easy for me to not drink because it has an instant effect on the thing that I care about the most. Whereas if you don't have that thing, I don't really know what to say, you know, like it's hard for me to give advice to someone who doesn't have a passion like that in the same way. So find that thing that you can put that energy into, and it makes it so much easier. That's what I'd say anyway.
Give up an unhealthy addiction for a healthy addiction.
Yeah. For me, when I went sober, I felt like I reverted back to how I was when I was like 16, when I was just like doing loads of drawing and making music and just kind of having fun and just kind of being a kid. And I think try and reconnect with that part of yourself, because that's who you really are, and it's the most fun.
Hell yeah. Well, let's get to another question, Cal.
Yep.
Thank you again, Nick, for the longest question ever.
Hey, it's Matt from Minnesota. You blew my mind at Skyway. My question for you is, out of all the DJs and producers you've collaborated with, whose ass would you beat the worst in basketball, and who would beat your ass the worst in basketball? Peace and love, brother. I'm in love with a stripper.
Hell yeah, Matt. I feel like you'd be good at basketball just because your height.
Yeah, I used to play basketball. I mean, not like, I wasn't in like a team and shit. It was just like what all the stoners did at school.
Yeah.
But I was okay at it, I guess.
Who's someone you collab with that you want to fucking take it to the court and show him who's
I'm
boss?
just trying to think of who's the shortest.
I beat Gorilla T already, so that was easy. Dude, I want to
I
do
feel
it.
like Biggie T's got game for sure.
Nah, dude,
I think he would crush me.
He's goofy as fuck.
I feel like he'd be fast though, you know, like
Yeah, he'd be talking shit, dude. He'd call. I feel like Brock would be the guy that'd call fouls when there's not a foul.
the Sponges are pretty tall dudes too. The Sponges would definitely kill it.
I want to go Grizz, dude. I'd play against Grizz. I want to beat him.
You want to beat him? I think he would crush you as well.
Nah, dude. Fuck that. Taking him down.
Isn't Grizz like 6'3"?
Yeah,
also?
he's like-
I don't
as tall
care,
as me.
dude. I got game. I'll fuck him up. Dude, yeah, that's who I want to play. I want to play Grizz.
This is the official call out.
Yeah, let's call out, bitch. Grant, I love you, but I will beat you, dude. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't know who I could beat. I don't think highly of myself enough.
Dude, take a challenge, dude. I think Grizz would actually be a challenge.
All right,
That's
we're
what I'm-
both taking on Grizz. 2
Okay,
on 1.
let's do it. 2-on-1. That's fucking fun. Well, that's a fun question. Let's get to this. I think we got one more.
Yeah, one more.
Yo, it's Damien from Dallas. also known as AKL in the Father Funk Discord.
What up, Damien?
And I'm really just curious on your guys' opinion on how the funk scene is going right now in electronic music. I feel like since Grizz left, there's been this like kind of weird empty space with funk in the scene. And I feel like it hasn't been as in the forefront as it used to be. And do you guys think that it's about to just really come back when 7 Stars hops in the game? So yeah, let me know. I'm curious. I miss our funky times, man. We need it back.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's different in the States, but I kind of feel like I've always been on the fringes of the scene. I don't really know if there's ever been much of a funk scene. I mean, there's the Fractal Forest thing, like I said, in Canada, but that's like one stage at one festival. I've never really seen it as much of like a bustling vibe. You know, there's not that many people really doing it. It would be nice if we saw a bit of a resurgence in terms of it being more popular, but I don't know if it ever was that popular. I don't know if it's different over here.
Yeah, like funky glitch hop was like really popping at one point, and stuff like that.
And I guess back in the day when I first started and I was doing the more ghetto funk thing, there was definitely more of a thing back then. But that was a different scene to the Grizz thing, so I don't know. But yeah, it'd definitely be nice to see more people doing it. I've been seeing some newer artists popping up recently. I can't remember all the names. It's like I think it's Ossian, who does a kind of like jazz kind of dubstep shit. I don't know if you've seen that guy.
Yep.
He's fucking dope. I'd like to see. It's nice to see people doing stuff like that. And Funk the Empire, I've been in a collab with too. He's fairly new on the scene. He's been doing some good shit. But yeah, I definitely think Grizz is one of those people that, like we kind of talked about earlier, who's just going to lift up the whole scene, you know, and it doesn't really matter if you're doing funky shit or not, but I think certainly the more fun side of things is hopefully going to make a bit more of a comeback. I think garage is going to help with that too, you know. I think it'd be nice to just get back to the fun shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, luckily there's people like the Floozy still holding it down.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Who are like,
K-Lab's been smashing it. I don't know if you know K-Lab. He's a homie of mine.
I know K-Lab.
But
when I think
Sodown's smashing it right now too.
Yeah,
He's been keeping the fire burning.
Yep. So there's people out there doing it. I don't think it's as I don't know if it was ever that popular. Now that you say it, yeah. I don't know how big the scene ever was. There's just a couple people that do it.
I think it's more like there's a scene and then there'll be like one guy in the lineup that does the funky shit. I don't think there's ever like a whole lineup of that very often, you know?
Yeah.
And if it is, it's like me and a bunch of locals or something. It's not like, I don't know. And I guess it goes back to what we were saying before. I kind of like it that way too, you know. I don't want to be everyone to be doing that. It wouldn't be as fun, you know.
Yeah. Well, Will, this has been fun, man. I appreciate you being here today, man.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Anything you want to tell the fans before you get out of here?
I don't know. I just look out for some UK shows coming up, US shows even coming up soon. I'm excited to hit some new places and meet some new people and meet all you guys and hopefully play some shows with this guy here. And
hell yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Thank you again for being here, brother. It was fucking so awesome. You know, I've known about you forever on the internet. So like,
Sweet.
you know, I've always kind of like, I don't know, I've always been a fan of you from afar. So it's cool getting to really sit down and get to know you a bit, man.
Yeah, you too.
And Kyle, I appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, bud.
And I appreciate everybody listening to this week's episode of Talks with Taboo. See y'all next week.
Yeah, dude.
Peace.